opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And welcome into a Friday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends. So I'm going to put in the top right-hand corner of the screen right there, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. Their logo coming up right there. Boom, right there it is. Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. And one of the ways we do that, of course, is talking to the coaches and players from our communities at YSN. Player profiles, coaches' corners are all featured on today on Running Point every day. And we continue that trend, and we're in the fall sports preview session of the show, I guess you could say, in the next couple of weeks before fall sports has every sport in full swing. We will be doing season previews, continuing our season previews. We have a lot of them ready to go, and even more scheduled to be interviewed throughout the next couple weeks. So can't wait for you guys to keep hearing these season previews, keep getting ready for fall sports. We're excited. You're excited. And we're gonna buckle up, be on this journey together. Before we get to our coaches' corners and our season previews, a quick update on the Austin Town Little League situation. I know we've been waiting for them to be getting a game in. It looks like we're gonna get a game in tonight. Looks like Austin Town's finally gonna be able to play tonight in Greenville, North Carolina. The rains have, I'm not gonna say subsided, because if you look at the weather app for Greenville, still a slight chance of rain today. That's the bad news. Good news is it's supposed to be, at the most light rain, and they have moved the Little League World Series to ECU, Eastern Carolina University, which is in Greenville. That field will be able to handle water a lot better. It's built to, be able to be played in throughout weather. So they're going to have a lot better field conditions. The field conditions right now where they were playing, from what we've been told, that Little League is not good enough to play. So they have moved the tournament to Eastern Carolina. It's been a full day of softball that has been scheduled today. They've started at 9 a.m. in Austin Town. It's the last game on the slate. 7 o'clock winners bracket game. Southwest is the opponent. Should be a fun one. We're looking forward to it. We've been looking forward to it for a long time. Austin Town has not played since Monday. So you got to wonder if they're going to be able to keep that momentum. You want that balance of getting rest, but also not losing the energy that's being built from winning Sunday and Monday back to back. Now, these other teams, they're in the same boat. They haven't been able to play all week. They've been dealing with rain delays too. So they have to manage that. Tonight's game really might come down to who gets more momentum from the start, because both these teams have been off for so long. It's a winner's bracket game. They both last played on Monday. We're going to see what happens. But the good news for us now, everyone is going to be fresh. Mila Hamley's arm will be absolutely fine, fresh, ready to go. And this is going to be a pitcher's duel. We've watched the other team's pitcher as well. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out pitcher's duel if it goes the way that you expect it to. Now you never know. Softball is a fickle sport. We all know that. But if it goes the way that we expect, should be a pitcher's duel tonight. Southwest with the 8-0 win over Canada to get to this point. So they've been shutting out people just like Austintown has. On the offensive side, this Southwest team has a lot of speed. They like to use small ball, get on the base pass, cause some havoc. So you got to think that strikeout number going to be important for Mila Hamley, because the less this team in the Southwest gets on base, the better. The less they can put pressure on you on the base pass, the better. So that Mila Hamley strikeout number is going to be really important. How much she can prevent the ball being put in play, how much she can prevent pressure being put on her defense with the speed and athleticism that this Southwest team brings to the table. So it should be a really fun one. Weather permitting, we are definitely sending good vibes to Greenville. They've been able to get games in so far, but you just never know. That Hurricane Debbie sent a lot of nastiness up towards North Carolina. So we're hoping that we have a full day and a full weekend, really, that the rain is gone, because we want this tournament to get in its entirety. We don't want to see things decided by anything other than softball being played on the field, which is what would happen if it kept raining. There's only a limited amount of time you can keep people in Greenville, North Carolina. So hopefully we get a full weekend of softball in the Little League, and that will be our kind of bow on the softball season. We will have recaps from Greenville when Austintown plays on our website. We talked to members of the Austintown Little League softball team a couple of days ago. Matt Hamley, Mila Hamley, Kendra Lake, Annabelle Mikesell, they all came on Running Point on Wednesday. So we are keeping a close eye on things going on down there, but that will be our final softball team with coverage. That's it. Once they're done, it is lock, stock, and barrel for volleyball, soccer, football, golf. So you have been able to see some golf recaps on the website. One of the ones I want to bring attention to real quick, Middle Ridge girls with their 4th win in a row. Yesterday they beat champion 235. Champion, I guess I'm so used to saying the higher number first. 205 to 235 was the final score of this match. It's the 4th win in a row for Middle Ridge, which is the most that they've had in their program's history. It continues. Their historic win streak continues. They're led by a couple of seniors in Aubrey Brunton and Megan Blair. They both had 50s on the day, and Aubrey with her first career birdie to go along with that 50. Sophomore Savannah Turek, who also had her first career birdie, she had a 52 on the day. Ali Zolka and Elena Valley both had 53. So a pretty consistent lineup. When you have all 4 of your players between 50 and 53, that's doing something right. Champion side of things, Briley Wuda had a 50, so she tied for the match high. Anna Brown had a 61. Emma Hagman and Hannah Pitts had 62s on the day for champion. That champion program lost Kayla Haney, who is a very good golfer for champion. And really, we talked to her a couple of times throughout the golf season in the last 2 years. She sparked that program. So they'll have to, tie up their bootstraps and get back to the golf course. Middle Ridge back in action next week on the 14th. They have a couple of days off before that. They're in a try match with Poland and Lowville. Lowville and Poland getting together at Old Dutch Mill Golf Course on the 14th for a try match. So Middle Ridge trying to keep that momentum going. As they've won 4 in a row, their girls looking very impressive. West Branch boys finished 5th place in their tournament that they were in yesterday. They now are in action today against Marlington. The girls on the other side lost a tough one for West Branch against Marlington by a couple of strokes. So we have golf recaps coming up, staying up on our website. So if you're a golf fan out there, make sure to stay tuned to our website and our social media pages for all the golf recaps that we are given. We will be sending out. So with that being said, we're going to go into our first Coach's Corner season preview. We're going to Lakeview, into Cortland, into Trumbull County. It is Heather Guthrie, the head coach of the Lakeview Bulldogs. Had a chance to talk with her earlier this week about the Lakeview season. This volleyball team in Lakeview, they're something else, and they've been something else for a while. So let's see what they have on tap for this year. Here's the season preview of the Lakeview Bulldogs with head coach Heather Guthrie. Anthony Hartwig here. We are having another season preview on the volleyball side of things. We're joined by Lakeview's Heather Guthrie. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and previewing your season.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on.
All right. We know we are excited about Lakeview volleyball this year, but first let's have like a little recap of last year and some of the things that you hope that the returning players take as lessons from last year's season.
Well, I definitely know that the one thing that we all left this season with a bitter taste in our mouth was definitely our district semis. Playing against Kirtland. They were a great team. I'm not saying that they weren't a great team, but we just did not play our best that game. We definitely got the environment definitely got the best of us. So we've really been working on in practice, loud environments, lots of loud music to get the girls just to be able to focus what's going on. But on the positive side, some things that, last year were really good for us is we were a very inexperienced team. When it came to varsity playing time, the year before you graduated, a huge class of seniors. So last year was really like almost all of my girls' first year playing varsity full time. So definitely, I think going into this season, we've worked a lot of those jitters out, and we worked a lot on like team camaraderie and playing together. And, I think it's going to be a great year. We learned a lot last year about like our offense and how we have to fight through games. And I think this year we're ready for the challenges.
How much did you learn last year as a coach? Because one of the great hallmarks of Lakeview last year was kind of adjusting their style of volleyball. You had to kind of make them more of a defensive-minded team because you lost so much of offensive firepower from the year prior. So how much did you learn about yourself as a coach and how much you can get from a team and how you can get them to adjust mindsets and style on the fly?
I definitely feel like in the off season prior to last year, I watched a ton of defensive videos, ton of defensive drills. I read a lot of articles on the best way to get a very small but mighty team to be very defensive minded. Like, I honestly feel also that I really had to focus on again, building that team camaraderie and just giving the players the confidence that they needed in order to succeed. I honestly feel that I had to really dig deep into like coaching strategies and things like that, just to make sure the girls were comfortable. I definitely feel like I learned a lot about them last year. And this year, we're honestly able to focus more on our offensive side, which is great because I'm definitely stronger in that category. But definitely last year, a lot of defensive things I had to really focus on the small little things for our defense and blocking. And this year, we've really like changed that mindset to like more offensive mind.
All right, so when we talk about this year and the things that we are excited about for Lakeview, let's talk about your roster first and foremost, the players that are going to be, doing it all on the court. We all know a lot of familiar faces coming back. Mm-hmm. Go through the names and the big names and maybe a couple of new faces that might be hitting the floor.
All right. Well, we definitely have our three captains back, Mallory Mylock, Reagan Price, and Molly Stewart. We have my other outside hitter, Addison Allen, coming back. We have my two right sides, Kennedy Bartlett and Mara Schmader, coming back to play for us. We have our libero, Haley Capan, coming back and playing for us. And we also have Ava Bacon coming off the bench, being a great server for us. Let's see. This year we're pulling up a couple girls. They're going to float between JV and varsity. We have Paige Schwartz, who's definitely going to step up for us this year. We saw her a little bit last year in our tournament play. She's very aggressive with passing. She's very quick on her feet. So we have her coming up. We have Maddie Pompoko coming up. She was our JV libero the last couple years, so she's definitely stepping up into a role this year. We have Annalise DeJulio coming up. Ella Collins is going to come up and get some swings for us this year. And then we also had a transfer student. Her name's Cadence. She came in from Norwalk. Her family moved here, so we're excited to have her join our program. Then we also have Tegan Chamberlain that's going to come up and get some playing time this year as well. And Anna Haney. So we saw Anna a couple times last year too.
We all know about your captains. I mean, what they were able to do last year. You had Reagan and Mallory, and what a great group of a core group of leaders you have. We were able to talk to Mallory we were able to talk to Reagan, I should say, this summer because of the club team she played on and the great trip they had to Las Vegas and the experience she had. You get to work with her in the summers now. You've had plenty of time with her in the last couple of weeks, especially. How much have you seen the club season take effect and make her even better this year as her senior season is upon us?
Reagan definitely is a leader on the team vocally and through her level of play. I feel like the club team she was on definitely gave her the confidence to go out and just take control. I feel like the club season also gave her a lot of confidence with her serving. And then, she knows coming to high school, she is going to get some back row playing. So she's really asked me, what do I need to do better to get at back row? What do I need to do to become more consistent with my swinging out of the back row, hitting a 10 ball? So Reagan, definitely, her confidence has definitely grown over these last couple years. And I greatly appreciate the Infinity coaches that have definitely helped her, because it's not just me making her a great player. It's also her club coaches. And then it also comes from her determination to become a great player also.
All right, when we talk about your schedule, it's always really tough, but we start with the league and we start with the NE8, which is always competitive. It's been you and Gerard the last, 5-6 years. We feel like it'll probably, be those two with the rivalry again this year. But talk about the league, what you expect out of it, and what the hopes are for Lakeview to get out of the league as well.
I mean, it's definitely our goal to win the league. It's always been a goal of ours to win the league every single year. We love playing teams like Gerard. It's just a good rivalry. It's good competitive rivalry. But I also don't think that South Range should be overlooked. They have a lot of their talent coming back as well. And they gave us a run for our money a couple times last year in long rallies. So we definitely know that every team has gotten better in the NE8. Struthers looked really good last year. They definitely improved as well. Poland looked good as well. So, we have a good, strong conference. I don't think a lot of people see that, but we actually do. Our conference is good. So our goal is definitely to win the NE8. And we open up with Hubbard, which is always a great game to open up with. We always go back and forth with them as well. So, it's going to be a great, great season this year. Good competition.
One thing we know about Lakeview is they always have a great non-conference schedule as well. You try to play as many high-level volleyball teams as you possibly can. Talk about your non-conference schedule, the teams that pop up this year, and the ones that you're excited to test yourself against.
We're definitely excited to test ourselves against all of our non-conference. Again, like you said, I try to really get strong competitive teams for our non-conference play. We're opening up this year against Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary, and Chagrin Falls down at Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary. So we're very excited to travel outside the area for that. We're excited to see the Akron volleyball level of play there. And we played Chagrin Falls last year, and we went 3 sets with them last year because it was a try match. And they definitely gave us a run for our money. We aren't in the Perry tournament this year. We actually had to pull out of that, which we're very sad about, but it was homecoming, so can't mess with homecoming. But we ended up getting two more non-conference games with Kent Roosevelt. So we're very excited to go play against them. They're a very strong program. And then we're also going to be playing JFK, which is always good to play against Catholic schools just to get our mindset of focusing on, beating the Catholic schools, because they're always tough for public schools to win against. And then we're playing Campfield, and we scrimmaged them at Beaver Local this year, and they have improved so much. So we're really looking forward to our non-conference schedules, and then Mineral Ridge as well. So we're excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun volleyball season. We have a realignment in the tournament. Tell us what that affects Lakeview, and and what you see out of that. I know we're a long way from tournament time, but not really. I mean, the volleyball season goes really fast.
Yes. We're very excited that we dropped to Division 4 only because we got away from, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin and Minor League Catholic. So we definitely are excited that we're not in that. We're hoping that this gives us a better chance to run a little bit further in playoffs this year. But there are a lot of tough Division 4 teams as well. So we're definitely excited to go in and see what it's like. I mean, going in your first year, kind of going in, not knowing what to expect because we've never really been Division 4. We've always been Division 2 or Division 3. So just going in, I think it's going to be a great learning experience for us. But I think going in not knowing what to expect is good because then we just can go in and relax and play our volleyball and not worry about anything else.
At the end of these season previews, we always want to give the coach the chance to highlight their staff because we know that you can't do it by yourself. You have a lot of great people behind you. So I want you to highlight the coaching staff that you've put together at Lakeview and the people that help you build this program to what it is.
Absolutely. I love doing this. I have Heidi Califat coming back again this year. Last year was her first year, and she was so grateful to come back again this year. She's great addition to our coaching staff. She's so bubbly and fun, and the girls just love her. She brings a lot of knowledge, from her playing in college and being around club volleyball. My sister Hillary Allen is joining our team again this year. She coached with me a couple years ago, but mom duties pulled her away a little bit, but she's excited to come back. I'm excited to have her back. She has a lot of head coaching experience. So I'm very grateful to have her to come back with me again this year. And then Maggie Shackelford is still at our 8th grade level. And then we hired a new coach, Kendall, and she actually coached at Southeast. So she's very familiar with the volleyball scene and everything. So, and I actually saw Mary Tarka at our Cedar Point camp, and she's like, "You stole Kendall from me." And I was like, "I did," but we're very excited to have her join our staff this year.
I did, and I'm proud of it. Way to go. Heather, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us and preview Lakeview Volleyball. We're excited about it. We'll be at plenty of matches this year, and we can't wait to talk to you real soon.
Yes, thank you so much again. I love the platform that you guys give these girls, and we just greatly appreciate it, and we can't wait to see you guys out at our games.
"21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens. On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Usually after commercial breaks, it unmutes you automatically. I don't know why I got left muted that time, but welcome to live streaming. You never know what's going to happen. Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. They go the extra mile for you so you don't have to, and we continue our fall sports season previews. We go back to the football field. Ty Bartell has our next interview. He had a chance to welcome in the Southeast Pirates with a coach's corner with Coach Ewell from their football program. Can't wait to cover the Pirates all year. And Ty Bartell, right next door, right? He's not too far from Ravenna Southeast. So he has you covered with this interview with Coach Pat Ewell from Southeast football, and a kind of a welcome to the YSN family for the Southeast Pirates. I hope you enjoy this next season preview.
Welcome in, everybody. Ty Bartell in with a very special edition of Coach's Corner. It's our first ever from this school, making their debut this upcoming fall season. It's the Ravenna Southeast Pirates. They're going to be taking their reins here on YSN, and I'm there with our football skipper today. Patrick Ewell joins me. Coach Ewell, how are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having us. And it's sad that I'm the first person that you're gonna talk to. So. No, we're tremendously excited as a school district to join the MVAC. They've been nothing but welcoming and awesome to us since this became official. And Mr. Mang and all the superintendents and all the athletic directors have been nothing but great. So looking forward to finally, again, we've played some of these schools in some different sports, but to be full-fledged in and to start to develop some relationships and rivalries is really something that we're all looking forward to as an athletic department and certainly as a football program.
I certainly will dive into that, and we'll get your perspective on some of joining the MVAC and some of the teams you're going to be facing. Prior to that, though, I want to get to know a little bit about you. I want to introduce you to the rest of the Mahoning Valley and beyond, too, in the multiple counties that we covered, too, to those that are unfamiliar maybe with Southeast. 10-plus years with the program, so you've been there for a hot minute, a decade plus, too. Talk to me a little bit about you, your coaching style, too. What keeps you coming back to the Southeast Pirates year in and year out?
Well, the first thing is what keeps me coming back are the kids, our program, our school district, our superintendent, our high school principal, all of those individuals. This is a special place. It really is. And I know there's great people and great kids everywhere, and we have a ton of them here. And so Bob Dunn and Steve Sigworth. Bob is our superintendent. Steve Sigworth is our high school principal. They actually hired me 11 years ago, and they've been nothing but short of amazing to me in my professional and personal growth. And wouldn't be sitting here today without them. And But again, coached a lot of kids in 11 years, and I think the longevity of a lot of people here. You're gonna interview our volleyball coach at some point. She's been here 51 years. She's been teaching and coaching here longer than I've been alive by about 8 years. So I think those are the things that speak volumes to this place. It's not just one person, one thing. It's just the community. And once they embrace you, once you become a Southeast Pirate, it's a forever type of a thing. And so it's been easy for me. My son goes to school here. I have another son who's 5 who will go to school here. So it's not been why did you stay? It's why wouldn't I stay? I've been very blessed with a great board of education, great board members, and all of that. And like I said, great coaches throughout my 11 years here, and just thankful that they've kept letting me come back to be the head football coach here.
Let's talk a little bit football too. Let's talk about the team you're going to be fielding this season, some returners and maybe some new faces we can expect to see for the Pirates in this 2024 squad.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty young. We have 7 seniors. We actually have 8 seniors. One of them actually hurt himself, before lacrosse season in the spring. So unfortunately, he's going to have to miss his senior year. So we have seven seniors that are going to suit up in pads. All 7 of them were huge contributors for us last year. I'd have to do some number crunching, but a lot of them are going to be 3-year letter winners for us in what we've done. So Zach Keto is going to return as a free safety and a wide receiver for us. Dylan Donnell, inside linebacker and fullback. Caleb Miller, he's our anchor up front. He'll be a 3-year starter for us on the defensive line. And then he's also going to be a 2-way guy and be the anchor of our offensive line. So he's been really good for us for 3 years now as a leader and just as one of our guys up front. And then we have Malachi Keller, who's battling for some time at offensive line position. And then we have the Mejia twins, Austin and Antonio. Austin returns. He'll be a starting defensive back for us and a wide receiver. And then Antonio was our leading rusher last year. He rushed for 1,100 yards. And so we're looking for some big things for him. And he's going to contribute on the defensive side more this year than he did last year in what we're doing schematically. So let me make sure I shouted out all my seniors. I think I did. That should be 7 of them. Just let me look down my roster here. I'm getting old, so I need
plenty of names too.
I forgot one, and he's the big one. He's actually been our. So I'm sad that I had to look for him. He's at the bottom, but he's actually been we have an accountability club here that we started in the winter, and he's been the winner of that every season. He hasn't missed a football function other than to coach powder puff football for 2 days and to go on vacation with his family, and that's Jack Muldowney. So he's probably the glue that holds us together in a lot of ways. And so again, he'll be a receiver and a defensive lineman for us. He's 6'4", 215. I've never coached here in 11 years without a Muldowney on my team. His older brother was a sophomore when I got here. His other brother is going to be is a scholarship kid at Kent State this year, going to be a starting tight end for them at Kent State this year. And so Jack, and then he's got some cousins in the younger grades that I'll coach. So certainly, last but not least, in Jack Muldowney and that. And so our seniors are going to be tremendously important. Like I said, it's quality over quantity with them. In numbers. And then we have a lot of young kids that have played a lot of football for us. We have 4 sophomores that all lettered as freshmen: Aiden McCann, Bruce Nelson, Nate Rivera, and Lucas Willett. And then we have a junior class that as sophomores were tremendous. And again, as we look down that list, Joe Sherish will be a huge contributor for us. Maverick Wood is dynamic and just a hell of an athlete, and he's going to be great for us. Just keep going down the list. Landon Durston was started for us on both sides of the ball last year as a sophomore at inside linebacker and offensive line. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but those guys are huge, returners. And then we got a number of other young guys that are battling for positions, especially up front. We graduated three of our 5 seniors, or 3 of our 5 offensive linemen were seniors. So we only have 2 guys, up front where most high school teams make their hay, if you will. And so we've got to grow and develop there, and they're doing a really nice job. Cash Leonard and as I said, Malachi Kettler, Travis Amacarella. Those are some of the guys in the battle, and then Aiden McCann, Liam McCann, Daniel Clint, Nate Machino. So we've got a lot of names. We just got to get them up to there. So again, we got a lot of young kids. We got about 46 kids on the team. One of them is a kicker that we share with the soccer team. He's a great kid, Tristan Finch. But so we have about 44 guys on our roster, 45 with our kicker, and obviously he's part of our team. So I don't, but we have 44 guys here every day. And again, the nice thing about them is they're working hard and getting after it and just trying to get better every day. And that's what we're talking about, right? We want to be better today than we were yesterday. I know it's all cliche, 1% better, however you want to say it, but everything matters. And luckily for us, we still have 26 days until it matters in the win-loss column. As we open up on August 24th. So again, just, today was another camp day. We got a camp day tomorrow, and then obviously mandatory days begin on Thursday. And but our kids have been showing up, since July 9th and just doing a great job.
You talk about all these new faces too, and maybe some new things you're going to see with the team this year. Do we still see the single wing pretty frequently on the offensive side this year?
Yes, but also no. And I think that's our single wing is kind of what we've established around here. We thought of like Garrettsville, that it's no surprise to the MVAC because Garrettsville's been dominating with it for the last few years. But with our personnel and our skill set, we're going to be a little bit more balanced, a little bit more traditional, if you will. We do have a new offensive coordinator this year. He's not really new to me. He was with me from 15 to 2018. Went on to be a head coach. And luckily for me, I was able to bring him back here last year. The timing of his return didn't allow for him to coordinate either side of the ball per se. He tremendously helped out on the offense or the defensive side because he's learning the single wing, and it'll certainly be part of our identity of who we are. But John Kinsey will be our offensive coordinator, and so again, he's been a head coach. He's been an offensive coordinator, coaching regional final games as an OC. So we're doing some things to match our personnel. With what we have, but certainly, we just had the long discussion today of our wing principles, and he and I at the break of how we're going to continue that, because I do believe we invested mightily in it, but again, when you're a small high school, like we are, you have your personnel, you have what you have, and you got to match that. And so I think offensively and defensively, we're trying our best to put our kids in the best possible position to compete every Friday night. And so the long and short of that is yes and no, and not try to disrupt anybody. Yeah, maybe throw them off their game a little bit, but no, it'll be a part of what we do, but certainly a little bit more traditional this year.
I know you were mentioning conference and the county opponent, Garrettsville Garfield, but I want to talk about Akron Garfield because that's week one. And I know that's what a lot of coaches, all you guys, you're gearing up for week one right now. Talk to me on what you've seen, what you know from Akron Garfield. How are you going to have your boys ready for week one to compete and maybe even walk out winners week one?
Yeah, I don't know a ton. Obviously we did have a 7-on-7 against an Akron City Series team in Akron North. And so I tried to pick their coach's brain a little bit. Coach Boyd is, he knows a guy on our staff pretty well. And so there's that, familiarity. We have a film or two on them. But again, what you were last year compared to this year becomes difficult. But obviously they're a team that's Division II, Region 5. We're Division 5, so obviously they're a bigger school, and we have great respect. We've played Akron North over the last few years and understand what they have athletically and what they're able to do. And so again, we need to get to see some of their scrimmages and gather that. The old cliche is that you got to focus on us, and a lot of that is true, right? I mean, we got to, we'll have to do our game plan and due diligence of figuring out what matchups, benefit us against them. And, as we get closer to that. But today and probably for the next 2 weeks, it's really, we've got some position battles. We've got some guys that whether it's for whatever reason they weren't with us during camp, they've got some learning and catching up. We still got some install to do on both sides of the ball. Special teams become a critical, they're always a critical piece, but now as we get into some mandatory 2-a-days, you kind of crunch for time, so you hit some specialists and those things during camp. At least we do, and so now we get into our special team stuff. So I think for the next couple of weeks, we're going to try to steal based off of the film we have of Akron Garfield, and try to match some personnel. And, obviously as previews come out, we'll be doing just like everybody else of figuring out who's on their roster, who's back, who's not, who are they highlighting as their go-to people, and trying to match stats and do all that stuff. But I think for the next couple of weeks, whether it's cliche or not, it really is about us and getting ourselves in position and getting ourselves in shape and making sure, that we're healthy. And just like anybody else, we've got to stay healthy. That question's always asked, what are you most nervous about? And certainly for us, it's just depth. It's injuries. We feel like we have a little bit of depth, but, one injury could be, 4 or 5 positions at a school like ours, where you got a kid who plays offense, defense. He's on 2 special teams. He's your holder, whatever that is. So, it's about us for the next couple of weeks, and we'll chip away at Garfield as we see him in scrimmages, and maybe compare what they did last year to what they're doing in the scrimmage this year, and see if that film benefits us at all. As that goes. For us, we play 8 new opponents this year. So it's one of those, you have films on, we've gotten some films, or we saw some teams last year that did certain things. And, one of the 2 teams that return on our schedule is league opponent champion, but they have a new coach. So I don't know what Coach Parisi is going to be doing out there, as far as, I know he's got some really good running backs and a couple of really good offensive linemen, and they're going to be good, but what are they doing schematically? It's probably different than the film we have. So, we only play Matthews and Champion are the only 2 teams on our schedule that we played a year ago. So that's exciting, and it's also a little bit scary as you make your plans and you prepare. So again, we're going to get ourselves ready, and then as things progress, when you talk about Liberty and LeBray, or maybe watching a film on them from last year, we play them weeks 9 and 10. Who they were last year is maybe a far cry of who they're going to be by weeks.
Yeah, you got weeks. Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so from year to year, you grow and change, and then obviously throughout the course of the season, so you get to, I mean, I'm certainly worried about Liberty. I've watched their preview. Their quarterback looks unbelievable. LeBray's got some dudes. This conference is top to bottom is something that is exciting. And just the parity and the competitiveness. Obviously we want to compete every Friday and be in that mix, and we just feel like we're a really good fit. And that's one of the things we really felt when we sold ourselves to the MVAC as a school district. We bumped back to Division 5. We've been Division 6 in football, and we've been Division 3 in other sports, and now with the expanded divisions we're 4 and 5 and so on. But when we sold ourselves to the MVAC, really we were looking for a home, and we really felt like whatever way they went, whether it be the Scarlet tier, there's some Division 6, Division 7 schools in there football wise, so we could have fit their numbers wise. We felt like we could fit with the gray tier, and obviously they decided that we were best fit in the gray tier, which is great. And there's great football on both sides. I mean, hell, the Scarlet tier has a meat grinder in Springfield and Reserve and Lowville and Ridge. I'm Coach Shaner and Coach Allen over at Ridge, and so now you got Garrettsville and Brookfield and Crestview and all the other schools, Liberty, LeBray, Champion, Newton Falls. Who the hell am I forgetting? Because I'm gonna leave somebody else on their bulletin board.
It's your first time with us.
I've tried. I as much as I know them all. I always and I never forget the same one. I forget. I always seem to forget one. Everybody asks who's in the league, and I get going and either I've named all 7 and I'm looking for the 8th, and I'm like, duh, it's us, or on the flip side, I always forget one school. And it's always a different school. I forgot this team, so I think that familiarity though, and just, we had our all coaches meeting yesterday. Our athletic department all coaches meeting yesterday, and it was weird for the first time. Like I gave out the MVAC directory of where the address of every high school and middle school, so our coaches, know where we're going, like where are we playing golf this year? Where are we playing, and things that maybe, so all exciting, but all kind of new for everyone. And, we've been in some of these stadiums, football wise. We played JFK at Liberty, so we've been in Liberty Stadium. Obviously, we've played at Champion. We've been to Garrettsville before, but I've been to LeBray. We played a boys basketball game there in a tournament, but I've never seen their football stadium. I don't even know. I think it's on campus in the back, right? So. We got our asses, we got our butts kicked by Crestview in the playoffs a few years ago. So we've been there, unfortunately. But Brookfield, I've been to Brookfield for basketball, never been there for football. So I think there's, again, an excitement of where we're going. And then also just an uneasy, nervousness of new. Change is always that way in anything you do. So, but much more excited. And again, just feel at home, and that's a credit to everyone who's related to the MVAC. Again, I've had a relationship with Jim Flegger at Garfield as the AD from when he was in the PTC, and got to share being the AD, with him there, and Mike DeVise a little bit. So they've been some friendly faces to help that transition into the MVAC meetings, but everybody's been incredible. I mean, all the ADs and just everyone's so awesome. And when you have 17 schools, to find everybody kind of wanting to work on the same page and row in the same direction, that's pretty awesome.
I know myself a Mike DeVise too. I love Mike, and I love everything he does too for sports and everything. I'm looking forward to talking to him as well. Before we end this conversation, though, and before we start looking forward to our first Southeast Pirate games, both volleyball and football on the network, let's just get the community a little bit fired up. Let them know what they can expect to see on August 23rd, and more importantly, August 30th, when you guys are returning home against Matthews too. Let them know why they should come out, support this Pirates team again, and why they should be rocking those stands.
Yeah, I mean, like it the same as it's been for the last hopefully 11 years. Our kids are great. They're going to play hard. And we want to just be who we are and do what we do. And again, I think for us, our kids are like, they're going to play hard and they're going to do what we ask them to do. We're going to put everything we got into game planning to make us successful. And, our philosophy around here is OTOV, one team, one vision. Again, we try to live that mantra of what it means in our mission statement. And so I think, I hope that's what they see is our kids trying to live that out every day, on the field. And when we get back home on the 30th, that's even a more awesome experience. That's our military appreciation night. So again, we'll have our veterans here. We'll do our military appreciation. So not only are you going to see the Pirates at home for the first time in 2024, but also it'll be an amazing night to experience, honoring our veterans and working with the National Guard for the last few years in Operation Buckeye Guard. That'll be a special night, just for our community and the veterans, and active military and first responders in our community that night. So yeah, it'll be exciting. Every Friday night is exciting. I think that's the beauty of high school football, and just the pageantry of it all, whether it be, the band and the concession stand and the smell and the game. And, certainly I'm selfish and the game is big for me and that, but as the AD, I also understand the big picture and what a Friday night means to a community as a whole and the rallying part that can be for everyone involved. So I like I said, I just think we're excited. We think that this group can really do some special things. We're still young, which is really exciting that we've got a lot of room to grow, but a lot of experience even with our youth. So just looking forward to we actually open up on Saturday afternoon on the 24th at 2 p.m.
Change the schedule then. Thank you on that.
Yeah. So that is yeah, so we don't get to experience Friday night the first week, but it'll be, a Saturday afternoon will be.
You get to have it in front of the home crowd, though. First Friday night is in front of a home crowd. Though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's our first day of school too. So we got to navigate that, as far as it really is. We start in school on a Friday just because of some professional development and teacher things. So, my staff and I are working through that I think we might start school as football players on Wednesday to get the bodies used to that morning grind, but that's a work in progress. So, but yeah, absolutely. That first day here is going to be exciting because you have that first day of school vibe and juice, and you're going to say your name 8 times in 8 different periods and write on a note card most likely and do all those things and then turn around and we're gonna have a spectacle outside. So really excited. It's hard to believe that it's here. People have asked me, how was your summer, Coach? We were in school till June 8th, and then before you know it, it's like, oh man, it's July 9th and we're in camp. And before we know it, next Friday we scrimmage, the following week we scrimmage, and then we're playing ball games. And so again, just every day's going fast. But I guess if you're loving what you're doing, and I do, I love our kids, I love our staff. I got an incredible staff, 3 former head coaches on my staff, 8 guys that work in this room that work unconditionally for our kids, and just we got great kids. As I said before, what keeps me at Southeast is our kids, our community, and it's just a special place. And every place is different, and every place is obviously got things that you wish. I was just talking to a parent. If I wish life was more like a Chipotle where I could have this,
have it your way,
or Burger King. I want to have it my way. But that's not real life. And so I think, like anything, right? You find the great in what you're doing, and you try to change and deal with the things that aren't perfect, and keep grinding. That's my philosophy. So certainly love this place, and super excited to be joining the MVAC, and obviously that relationship with Ysn. I got to get my banner.
Yeah.
John Mang has been all over me that I got to get my banner in my stadium and in my gym, that I got to get them hung. So I don't know if you have anything to do with that, but get them to me so I can.
Yeah, we'll get them to you.
All right. Yeah, John Mang's all over it. Get your YSN stuff up. I got you. I'm on it, John.
I love your passion for the student athletes. I love the culture you've created and you continue to create, and I just love the passion, like I said, that you have for your student athletes and the students as a whole too. I think this is going to be a really good relationship between us and you guys too. We got a lot in common then with us over here at YSN. We're so looking forward to the season, Coach. We're looking forward to getting some Pirates football and all kinds of sports on the network too, and starting to spotlight Southeast Ravenna too, and letting them know what you guys are all about down there.
Awesome. Well, again, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for having me. Look forward to this relationship for a long time. And again, I've watched some of the things you guys do on YSN, whether it be just to catch a game on a Friday night, or trying to catch what JFK was doing, from the league, or even when as our basketball teams, whatever. So you guys do an incredible job, and really looking forward to that partnership. And again, anytime you can sell student athletes and promote them, not sell them, but promote them and give them their dap, like you said before the interview, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of the local media outlets, that here in Portage County. Tom Nader does an incredible job, and Austin Maludik does a really good job. YSN does an incredible job. I don't know if I'm stepping on toes, but I just think it's so awesome how much you guys, all of those groups, and just our student athletes at the high school level they're so lucky to have so many groups that care about high school sports and care about, the Valley and different places that promote them and give them the love that they deserve. So thank you guys so much for that at YSN.
We're all about loving the student athletes too, and we're looking forward to giving you guys some spotlight that you've never seen before.
All right,
upcoming fall season.
I'm holding you to that. This is being recorded right now. That was recorded. Show us the love.
We wouldn't have 60+ schools if we weren't holding true to our promises, Coach. Sure. I promise you're going to get a spotlight like you've never seen before. This has been our first edition of Coach's Corner with the Southeast skipper of their football team, Mr. Patrick Ewell.
Thank you, guys.
That was Patrick Ewell from Southeast. Ty Bartell doing a great job with that interview, and what a great conversation. You can tell he's excited about Southeast being a part of YSN. That interview was just gushing of passion for his student athletes. And like Ty said, we're going to be highlighting a lot of Southeast and making sure they know what YSN's all about by the end of the season. They will not know what hit them. They will think that they know what local media can do for them until they see what YSN can do, right? So we will be hitting Southeast sports hard this fall, and I can't wait to see the Pirates and what they're able to do on YSN. That'll do it for today's episode of Running Point. I want to remind you, everybody, that the Austintown Little League team finally out of a rain delay that they've been on for the last couple of days. They are going to be playing tonight at 7 o'clock. The ESPN network is still kind of to be determined. They might be on ESPN Plus, might be on ESPN2. Doubt they'll be on the hub of ESPN, but they'll be on somewhere. You can stream them if you have the ESPN subscription. You'll be able to see them no matter where they're on. But tonight, 7 o'clock against Southwest, Austintown Little League, back in action in Greenville, North Carolina at Eastern Carolina University now, home of the Pirates. Hey, maybe that's a good omen that we had the Southeast Pirates on right before we preview the Little League World Series being held now at the Eastern Carolina University, the home of the Pirates. But once again, we want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank Greenwood Chevrolet for being a wonderful sponsor of YSN. Hope everybody has a good weekend. We'll be back next week on Monday, 1 to 2. More season previews for you coming up on Running Point, brought to you as always by our good friends over at Greenwood.